look, it's so important what you're doing, and you've paid a huge personal price for it, for speaking out after October 7. Hundreds of thousands of followers gone, brand deals cancelled, yet you refuse to stay silent. Where does your strength come from when we see so many other people in an influential position who just refuse to do anything?
Well, my strength comes from my grandparents, that's for sure. What they experienced, no one should ever have to experience in their lifetime. My grandmother was 13 years old when she witnessed her mother get beaten up and dragged to the gas chambers. And my Zaidi, the stories that he would tell me, you can't even imagine. So their strength and their ability to come to the United States with absolutely nothing after experiencing all the hate that they experienced, but to have so much love inside of them and to teach my mother, who taught me that you treat people for their kind hearts and good souls, not for their race, religion. And that has been instilled in me. And just their bravery, their strength, which was passed down to my mother, has now been passed on to me. And I will always lead with that in mind, whether it's on social media or off social media. And I hope that others can do the same, and especially our younger generation. They're our future leaders. And we need to take the stories of the Holocaust, from what we all know from the Holocaust, seriously, to what is happening now. And that's why I'm so honored to be here with the Melbourne Holocaust Museum, because Holocaust remembrance is so important and Holocaust education is so important now more than ever.
And I often think that it is the younger generation that's really on the front line of this anti-Semitism crisis, whether it's students at university campuses around the world who are just coming face to face with this hate every single day. Now, you interviewed a lot of the youngest survivors of the October 7 Hamas massacre for your new documentary. Can you tell us a bit about, their pain, their resilience, and how critical it is for you to make sure their voices are heard before, this narrative in the West just takes over?
Like I said before, our younger generation, they are the most important people that we all need to be talking about and talking to. And unfortunately, where our younger generation, where they're getting all their information is from social media. And what is popular and trending on social media right now is being anti-Semitic and being anti-Israel. It's just a fact. The trending hashtags, what the algorithms are pushing out, that's just factual. So it is so important to cut through there. We can't just be teaching about this in schools. We really need to be posting online and as much as we can. And with my documentary, The Children of October 7th, I'm so grateful that I created this documentary with Castina Communications, where I interviewed kids ages 11 to 17 that were either taken hostage by Hamas, witnessed Hamas murder their family members right in front of them, or their family members were hostages. And these kids, ages 11 to 17, it reminded me a lot of the stories my grandparents would tell me. My grandmother was 13 when she went to Auschwitz. And so as we see what's happening with our younger generation, I felt this documentary, they could hear from kids and teens their age, and they could really relate to it. And the documentary has already made such a huge impact. It's on Paramount Plus, and it's available globally. Everywhere Paramount Plus is available, and it's really making an impact. And I'm so grateful for that, because we have to do everything we can in every which way to get the message across.
Oh, I completely agree. You just mentioned a moment ago about how social media is dominated by pro-Palestinian activists, and there's a lot of anti-Semitism online. And you're one of the lone voices, really, on social media. Do you think, have you given much thought to what needs to happen here, whether it's an algorithm problem, particularly with TikTok, and what needs to change?
You say it's pro-Palestinian, and I have to say it's almost pro-Hamas, what I see on social media with our younger generation.
Yeah.
And that's really scary. It's literally pro-terrorism. And I think that's something that we all need to take into account. And they're just following the trends. They don't actually know what they're speaking about. They don't know what they're posting. They literally just want to be trending and popular and get millions of views. And that's what's getting millions of views now. The more controversial you are, the more hateful you are. Unfortunately, that is being pushed. But for me specifically, and why I feel like my messaging has been cutting through and in certain ways, is because A, my following is not just the Jewish community or the pro-Israel community. It's really across the board from all my different collaborations and dance and singing and acting collaborations. And I try to, every video on my page is different. It's not just me speaking about the conflict. I'll do a dance video, or I'll do a singing video, or I do videos. I did a video with a man who grew up in Gaza until he was 17. I did a video with an Arab Muslim peace activist, with all different types of people, always sharing the same message. And I feel like that's how you get to different communities, and how the algorithms push it out to different people is when you're constantly thinking of unique ideas to push the message out there.
Montana Tucker, really appreciate your time. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the Melbourne Holocaust Museum for bringing me here.
And you can watch Montana's documentary called The Children of October 7 on Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus.